There we
Oh,
go.
I
There we
see.
go.
All right, take 2. Welcome to episode 12 of Gathol.
Hey, good day.
All right, so cool. As you can see, we upgraded our overmap here. I hope it's better. We'll play with it, learn it. Okay, so we're gonna take care of all of our business here. So things that you all did on autopilot. Coil, you wanted to guard the caves. Nothing came in or out of it. Above the table, storyteller discussion. Usually, when people do this sort of thing, I make that thing not refill or more enemies get worse or something like that, just so choices are matter. So something to think about. Dan, you were convincing Jadmac to come with you on your next adventure. So the next time there's 3 people and not 4 people, he will come no matter what you say. Can't do it today because I usually just limit to 4 because it's easier for me.
It's fine.
Okay. Ooh, I'm getting a little bit of echo still off of someone. It looks like it's you, Squawk. So make sure your audio is going through your headphones in Discord. All right. Next is Starfire. You were working on being at the carnival, which helps the carnival increase the amount of hope in the city. I will, after tonight's game, we reached this is week 3 in game time, so I will increase in the notes like how effective people have been in that sort of thing. Things are looking way better. And Squawk, you were working on researching like sort of the underworld of Gathol. It's only been 2 games in game time, so you haven't really made a lot of headway. It looks like you just may need some more time. So maybe if you do that again, then hint hint, you will find something. All right. So tonight we're actually going to start, or this game we're going to start the night before you all head out for your adventure. So we're going to do it one at a time. Gravy, what does Gravy's night look like the night before he has to go on an adventure? Like, how does he prep? How does he do that stuff?
I head back to Shanley's place. Usually we get in some kind of a fight over something petty.
Mm-hmm.
And then I try to psych myself out that everything's going to be okay tomorrow. It's going to be different. Sort of like, some people listen to those like word of affirmation videos.
Yep.
Like, it's like that, except I'm just talking to myself. And I have like a little shrine that I've made of all of my loved ones that I haven't seen in a long time since I got here, but I'm still really hoping are going to show up any day now. And I say a little prayer. Then usually... all right, I get in a fight with Shanley. I practice some fighting skills and shit. And positive affirmation.
Cool.
I'm just picturing a barbarian practices fighting skills, and it's just him getting like raged, like going into a rage and like yelling and like smashing things.
Yep.
There's just no finesse or.
Yeah.
Studies have shown you shouldn't work out before bedtime.
I also like picturing Gravy just being like, "Serenity now!" just like yelling at all right. What does Coil do the night before they go out on an adventure?
I assume I just so I've probably been guarding the thing without like any breaks except to go into my shut off position, like the sentry's rest. And so I assume I just sort of go into the sentry's rest. I'd probably double check to make sure I have everything I need in my pack. Pick up any like food stuffs that I need or whatever.
that everyone else needs. You just put it all in like.
Yeah, not that I need, but that other people need.
Oh
Right.
yeah, we don't need any more coleslaw, please.
Did you want to purchase any potions?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Is it still just the healing potions?
Yeah, it's still just the healing potions. Yep.
No.
Okay. All right. What does Starfire do the night before a mission?
I think Starfire is performing at the carnival.
Mhm.
So she's putting on one of her shows, which is more like a pyrotechnic show with a bit of like a dance flair into it. So it's like, "Da-da-da-da."
That's exactly the song I thought of too.
So yeah, it's kind of it's almost like a magic show dance fireworks thing.
Yep.
And then
Like
she's
the
usually
Dazzler.
fairly, yeah. She's usually out pretty late, so she does like when she gets back to her place, she does like a quick cram session of her spells for the night before going to bed.
Cool.
I knew I should have did this earlier.
All right. What does Squawk do the night before a mission?
Sleep.
Just sleep. Just straight up sleep.
No. Obviously gets rest. Make sure that all of his gear is tight and isn't going to fall apart. Checks his weapons, make sure he has plenty of arrows. Just some pretty standard stuff. Maybe he goes and watches Starfire's show.
Fun.
Just taking it really chill.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think Coyle will go watch Starfire's show too, and he'll sit in like the front row with all the little kids, and he'll clap very loudly with his metal
Like,
hands.
blank, blank, yeah. All right. Awesome. So since you all had a very reserved night, you're not going to get any fatigue as like around 3 or 4 in the morning, a guard is just like runs up to all your all's doors like separately, and it's like they just start banging on it, and then they gather you up and start ushering you outside. They're sort of like, something's going on. You need to come see this. Like, come with me. And they're like breathing hard as though they ran sort of all the way down to get you.
All right.
Yeah.
Coyle
Yeah.
will go along.
I'll follow up.
Show me what's the matter. Yeah.
All right, so they run you all the way out to the entrance, and you see the sky is sort of like it was already pretty bad with like the sort of blood, like aurora borealis and sort of the lightning and things like that. But now there seems to be some sort of like small maelstrom up in the sky. You know, one of those like big whirlpool things. And then about a minute or two after you guys arrive, what appears to be sort of a shooting star comes out, and at first you think it's just like, you know, like sort of a shooting star, but it's like falling, and like it doesn't burn up. It's like it's gonna land, and you think it's gonna land around. I don't know if this is pinging for you. Oh, right, because you guys aren't on this map. Derp to derp.
Not on that map.
It's gonna. Okay, I guess. Oh, I'm in the wrong thing.
I can see it now.
It's gonna land right around here-ish.
Well, it's probably nothing. I guess we should get back to sleep.
Whatever you want.
I think yeah, could I do like an Arcana check, or I'm wondering if it might align with any sort of like astrological timings for anything.
Sure.
Ooh, pretty.
Gotta get them out early.
Yeah.
Get him out early.
Yeah, you just can't think of a single thing that it could be. You think that it's just a crazy random happenstance.
Wild. Oh, cool. I'm into the light show.
I don't think my guy would have any idea what that would be. I've been outside for, I don't know, a week or two, and the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's not true. I've been traveling a bit, but I'd say the odds of me knowing anything about something magical are low.
That's okay.
Well, perhaps tomorrow morning we can check it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does anyone else here seem to have an idea? Like, has anyone else from inside the cave come out to look at it?
No, the guards like are out here and they're watching it, but they're sort of also in awe. Like they don't really have any idea on what to do either. You know what I mean? Like they're told to guard. Like at this point, the farthest they've been out is this wall that has been built. Like
Is the sky in general different, or just this one event?
just this one event. After the thing sort of crashes and you hear the impact, the maelstrom starts to sort of fade away.
So the sky just gave birth to something.
Yeah, that sounds like something came out of the sky. Yeah.
Alright.
Do we want to check it out now, or should we wait until morning?
Oh man. I don't know.
I
Regard.
How far away is it?
It's just about a day's travel.
I think we should wait till morning.
Yeah.
Morning.
I agree.
Let's leave it dawn.
All right, cool. So you wait another like couple hours, and then it's dawn.
We leave at daybreak.
Cool. So you all head out out on an adventure. You get to the woods. We'll say you get to like right here where the logging camp is. Like that's where they log the trees that are magically ushered up to the wood mill right there. And now you're getting pretty close. You're within a couple hours of the crash site. You want to do anything to prep, or like just tell me when you want me to stop you? You know.
I don't know what else we could do to prep.
We're just checking it out. I warn when we get to the lumber mill. I ask, did you all see the thing in the sky last night?
They nod, and there's no way to not see it.
Anyone go to check it out already?
They shake their head like only adventurers are allowed beyond the walls. Like we're not gonna go.
All right. Hang tight here. We're gonna go check it out. Stay on alert.
Thanks. All right, cool. So you all start wandering through the woods, and go ahead and give me a perception check. Y'all, all of you.
I just gotta check my character sheet. It's been a while.
Mhm.
There we go. +2. It's in the process of rolling. It says 14.
All right, so you Starfire and Gravy, you start to notice like sort of like the upward slant of like a crater that has been hit here. Do you want to approach this like north? So you want to approach it from the north, the south, the east, or the west? I'll let Gravy. You're going to decide how to do it because you rolled the highest. So.
Okay. Well, right now I just see a crater, so
Yeah.
I guess without having further information or sensing danger, I would just walk toward it. Path of least resistance. So probably
From the north.
From the north.
Do you have danger sense?
I do.
Yeah, it starts to go off as soon as you sort of take your first step up the hill. Like it sort of like it flares up as though like something's going on here. You know.
I share that with everyone, and I tell Coil that he should increase his threat level of this crater.
My current threat level is at maximum,
Wow.
but I
Yeah, just bring it up a couple notches from there.
I do not think that is possible. But perhaps, Squawk, you are able to move more quietly than I.
Well,
How do
very
you-
much. Very much. Yes, yes.
How do you feel about moving ahead and assessing the threat level yourself?
Oh, I could do that. Surely I can do that.
Metagaming, the DM asked us which direction we're going in, and then he told us this way's dangerous.
I mean, I'm just telling you that it is dangerous. Like, I don't know.
There's a big sign that says "Adventure here." Adventure here.
Wow.
I'm just saying. That's all right.
All right, cool.
So yeah, I'll venture some good distance ahead, I guess.
All right.
Not quite out of sight of the group. But certainly well ahead that if I do something, I won't necessarily give the group away.
All right, cool. You should all have your sheets. Oh, we lost Gravy.
Sorry.
Reconnect.
I'm reloading here. It was behaving funny, and then it showed me like some behind the scenes stuff.
So it showed you some behind the scenes stuff.
I don't know. It showed me some thing I couldn't see before, like a bunch of characters and some kind of.
All right. Yeah, so you see this is sort of the crater. It like sort of goes up and you can't really see up in the middle in the bowl part. So Squawk, go ahead and make me a stealth check.
This is an upward grade.
Yeah, it is an upward grade. Yeah, and I put your cone there at the bottom left. No reason.
Wait. Oh, so we're heading. I thought we were coming in from the north.
Yeah, this is the north.
Oh, okay.
Here.
Do it. Try it again. And it didn't do it again.
Sometimes it takes a minute.
Cool.
There you go.
Okay, you're gonna end up with a couple.
All right. Cool. Yeah, so you're pretty stealthy. So how would you like to approach? So go ahead and just like move your character kind of slowly. All right. So you see as you get this close, you see right here, there's like a great sword just like point down into the ground.
I use message to Squawk.
Okay.
Spell. I'll drop it in here, but just to keep a line of communication going. So mentally, like, what do you see? Let us know if anything pops up.
Okay. Examine the sword sticking out of the ground.
It's a really well-made sword. It's very beautiful, but it's not magic in any way.
It doesn't appear to be. I'll inspect for traps and triggers.
Okay, go ahead and make a roll.
Or what do you need? Perception?
Investigation.
Investigation. Here. Investigation, not intimidation.
You don't think there are any traps in your general vicinity?
Okay. I'm gonna let them know I found this sword in the ground, but I'm not messing with it until we figure out more around the area.
Okay, so you're gonna relay that to Starfire, who relays it to the team, right? All right, cool.
Yes.
All right, where are you gonna go now? Are you gonna? Okay, all right. So you're gonna look over.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you peer over, I'm gonna just reveal it to everyone. You see 3 people that are just sort of laying down in the crater, and like they're just sort of smoldering at this point. Like they seem to be sort of moving a little bit, but not a ton. Over here is a shield. Here, and then over here is a mace. All right. What do you do now?
Relay what do they look like? Can I tell from
Yeah,
here?
so that's a good question. So they look like what you imagine sort of perfect humans to be, like whatever your image of like what a really like a peak optimal beautiful human like that. But they have like this sort of like iridescent white skin to them. Like they're not just like white, but they're like it looks like there's like a glow to them in that way. And like white hair, but battle gear. Two of them are wearing scale mail, and the other one is sort of more in like sort of loose fitted clothing. One man and two women.
I found pretty people in armor.
Found pretty people.
Pretty people. They're beautiful. Come
All right.
see for yourselves.
So as soon as that happens, we're gonna enter into initiative. But like it may not be combat. Like it's just I need like things are starting to happen. So I just need like an order. Make sure to click on your character first.
Oh shoot!
Bang.
Made an error there. There we go.
Wow. They have the worst initiative. What did you roll? You rolled a 15. All right. Cool. So you say approach, you're kind of there, and then the male one of them notices you, and then like sort of starts looking around, panicked. So like basically everyone knows that they have noticed you. All right, so you're Squawk. You're first.
Hello? Hello? Do you need help? Are you stuck?
Do you speak Celestial?
I don't. I'm just in common.
Words come out of their mouths, but they don't. You don't know what they are.
Okay.
Would you like to move or do anything?
How far away are they?
5, 10, 15, 20, about 25, 30 feet, but it's like an uphill slant.
So we're uphill and then they're down below.
Yeah, they're down in the impact zone.
So it's like a caldera.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's the thing I was thinking about. 25 feet. I'll pluck the sword out of the ground.
So you pull the sword out.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And toss it. Obviously, toss it hilt towards them.
Okay. Give me an athletics roll.
Well, this isn't going to be pretty.
Damn.
He's like,
I mean, you're
damn.
throwing a great sword. Like.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm not. I'm trying not to throw it threateningly.
Okay.
Oh, well, that's not bad.
All right. Cool. What square do you want it to land in?
That one.
Okay. All right, Starfire, your turn.
I'd say to Squawk, what did they say? Did they say anything?
So I heard what they said.
Yep.
And while I can't speak the language,
You can mimic it exactly.
I can mimic the shit out of it.
Yeah. Starfire,
So-
do you speak Celestial?
I don't speak Celestial, but I do have the spell Comprehend Languages. So
Okay. So if you want to cast
but
the spell, then
it's
Squawk.
not prepared. It would have to be a ritual. So what I'm saying here is like, if we can, if we can keep the dialogue open here somehow,
Okay.
I can talk to them, but I need a little time.
Okay.
So what I imagine what's going to happen then is you're going to ask me what they said, and I'm going to tell you quite literally what they said, and I think you're going to figure out that you need to do comprehend languages. So I'm going to repeat what they said to me, how they said it,
Yeah.
but I can't understand them.
Right. Squawk, you're off camera now. Just FYI.
And is that in the mirror? I mean, in the whisper that you're repeating it?
In the message to Starfire, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So he has to relay all this.
Is message cantrip, or is it a first level spell?
Trip.
Huh? It's a cantrip. Okay, cool. All right. Did you want to move or do anything?
I relay what I can, but I wouldn't be able to relay what the Celestial necessarily is. If I don't know if Coil or anyone else speaks it, but he's talking to them. He doesn't know their language. If we can get something going here, I could start a ritual to communicate with them.
All right.
And otherwise, I stay with the other folks.
Cool. All right, Gravy.
Squawk, what are you doing right now? What do I see that you're doing?
Just standing at the edge of the caldera looking down.
You definitely would have seen him throw a sword down there. Throw that sword.
I'll just point to myself and be like,
You can respond. Okay.
It won't make sense for me to tell you what I mean. So I'm trying to communicate something like...
Yeah. Squawk waved you on.
Oh, I can't see his... All right. Yeah, he's blank on my screen.
Oh,
Sorry.
can anybody else see me?
Yeah, I can see you fine. That's why I
Okay.
didn't say anything. If I don't see you, then there's a problem. I don't...
Okay.
So you see them, Gravy. Give me an insight check, Gravy. As soon as you see them.
An insight check. Okay. Not really my forte, but...
I'm going to give you advantage, too.
Ooh. Well, right now it's rolling, but it's taking its time. I'm not sure what's...
Yeah, I think roll 20 might just be taking a while.
Yeah, it's been acting slow for me too.
If you... Oh, there goes one. I was going to say, if you want, you can roll them for me. 11.
11. You think that these people went through some trauma. That's really all that you would get off of that.
Okay. Something bad happened to them recently. Okay.
All right. Coil?
I'll say to Starfire, what is it that they said? Can you repeat it as best you can?
I can try. I try, I guess.
Right.
Would that be like an intelligence check, maybe, or?
Josh, can you speak Celestial?
Yeah, I speak Celestial.
All right. Yeah. So, yeah, give me a performance check.
Performance? Sure, then.
I don't know. What else? You think there would be a better one?
I was
think
thinking intelligence because
It's definitely intelligence, but I could see how it could be performance too. But
it's good
there
for
is-
mimicry.
I'll
think
give you
anyway.
intelligence. Actually, you know what? You heard
better
it. Wait. You heard it in your mind, right? So you can make an illusion that makes sound, right?
True.
So
Yeah.
you can just make
Okay.
the sound. Yeah.
Yeah, use minor illusion to say it.
All right.
the other thing too is you can always mix and match. Like the associated ability with the skill is just a recommendation. You don't have to follow that.
Yeah, I definitely would have given you intelligence performance, but he can just mimic it too because he has illusion and he's heard it
Yeah.
inside of his mind.
Of
So
course.
you hear it, and what they said to you is, oh my god, I thought this place was safe, is what they said.
I say, so now I'll speak to them,
Mm-hmm.
and I say, greetings, I am Coil. Please identify yourself.
Yeah, so since it's all their turns, they sort of look at you. This one starts backing up towards the shield. This
Okay.
one turns to face you and takes one step forward to here. And then this one also steps forward right alongside him. And they say, are we on the material plane?
Say, I do not recognize that identity. All this is in Celestial.
Yeah.
And I imagine Celestial, it sounds like this beautiful song, almost like a church hymn or something like that, right?
Yep.
And I say, you are near Gathol. Is that where you wish to be? Are you lost? I am a scion of Moradin.
They look at each other and they look at you, and they understood Moradin. Like they were like, as soon as you said that, they could like they sort of like looked at each other, and they're still like a little panicky. Like you can tell they're sort of like preparing themselves as though like you were gonna fight them. But the guy says, he says, I don't know what a Gathol is. We escaped the celestial plane. Is this the material plane?
Yes, this is the material plane.
They nod.
You escaped the celestial plane? Were you in danger there?
They say yes. Great danger.
What is happening up there?
They sort of look at each other, and they say the word for war.
I see. Amongst the angels? The celestials?
This one here, since we've sort of fallen out of combat, this one's going for the shield. Does
I'll be
anyone
right back.
stop them from getting the shield?
No.
Okay, and then they start climbing up the backside of this. He says, the gods are at war. The angels, and they look at each other, and they sort of don't want to say anymore.
I'll just take it out.
Why?
But we don't want them to-
I'll reiterate to the rest of the party what's going on. I'll say, it would seem that these are 3 celestials who have
Don't do that, babe, right now. Just wait.
escaped a war going on in heaven,
Off of your wrist.
perhaps deserted the war to come here. They seem reluctant to say more.
Do you know what their intentions are?
I think they are deserters. I'll turn to them and I say, what do you wish for here? Refuge?
He nods. She nods.
What was your role in the war?
They sort of look up and sort of look around. It's like they don't want to talk, like they're afraid of being overheard.
I'm gonna roll insight.
Nice roll.
Yeah. You think that they were basically like either like some sort of pawn or were used as slaves or like something really bad. Like maybe they've seen too much combat or something.
Okay.
All right, this one's going for the weapon.
I say, what kind of shape are they in? Do they look like injured or?
Yeah, they definitely look injured and a lot of like old scars, but nothing like, like no open wounds or anything like that.
Okay. I say, you wish to, or you fear being overheard.
They nod.
Thanks, babe.
The gods listen.
Sometimes. She gets her weapon.
Well, what do you need? What do you seek? Why are you here?
We escaped. We would like to go.
To go where?
Find somewhere safe here.
I'll turn to the others and I'll relay what was said. They wish to find somewhere safe. They wish to leave.
Do we have somewhere safe we can stash them until they can rest and get their bearings?
We've been taking in a lot of strays lately. I mean, what's three more?
I am reluctant to bring in beings this powerful. I have assessed their threat level. It is at least threat level 5.
They could be a big help to us too.
They
Maybe
could be.
powerful allies.
They could be powerful allies. They could also be powerful enemies. That is what I am concerned with.
If they were, let's assume they are powerful enemies, what would the plan be? To let them go?
If we let them go, they may not find their way to Gathol. They might just go elsewhere, right?
Can you hear me right now?
We can.
Oh,
I mean, I can.
I clicked mute. I was very surprised by that. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the game that way.
All good. All right, so this guy is slowly reaching for the sword, and looking at you, and he's just slowly reaching to grab his sword.
Yeah, I don't stop him. So, thoughts?
I think we offer them refuge.
I'm good with the refuge. I can't see leaving them in such a confused and disorganized state that if we decide to let them go their own way, that they don't get attacked and harassed by something else when we could have at least helped them recover and be on their way.
I look to Gravy. And then I look to
Gravy's
the
just
others in
staring off into the medium distance.
Oh, he's muted.
Oh no, Gravy, don't walk off that cliff. Oh my god.
Then I stopped myself just in time.
Yeah.
There we go. I think it's worth helping them, and I think we should just be kind of assessing their behavior as we walk back towards Gathol.
Okay. So I'll turn to them and I say, we are able to offer you refuge in Gathol.
They look at each other, and then she takes a step forward and says, you would help us even though the gods may find you."
I say, I am a scion of Morden. I do his duty. I seek his. I am on a holy quest for him, a pilgrimage, if you will.
She nods. And she says, "As long as you are aware of the danger."
Do you,
You're muted, Starfire.
Oh no, I was whispering.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to interrupt with bum bum bum.
Okay.
I say, you think that the gods would willfully interfere here on the, as you say, material plane?
They look. They don't say anything, but you can tell on their faces they'd say yes. Like they're really worried about the statement you just said.
It's
say,
fine. You'll be
I
just
think-
fine.
It's all fine.
Well,
Yeah, the mountain.
we have already discussed it amongst ourselves, and we have determined that we will offer you aid.
They nod, and then they say, take us to where you'd like to bring us." And Gravy, or anyone who, so Gravy said that he wanted to watch them on the way back. Does anyone else want to assess them as you're walking back, or you're muted, Starfire?
Right, thank you. I'd like to ask Bill to ask them. Can you ask if they understand common?
I ask them, I say,
You understand me?
do you speak common?
They shake their head and they say, "It has been a long time since we have taught common to our young."
I look and I say, they do not speak common. Not a word of it.
As we're traveling here, if there are 10 minutes for me to understand languages as a ritual, I would. But I wouldn't hold up our caravan and leave.
Yeah, you'd have to do that. Like you have to stop and like do a
But
ritual.
yeah, if we're stopping for whatever reason, I would do it during that time. But otherwise, I'm not going to do it.
I will ask them though, like, which god they serve in the celestial plane.
They don't want to speak the word. They sort of say like, we fight in their war. We do as they command.
What does your deity represent? Or what did your deities represent?
They sort of look down as though they like you're asking them too difficult a question. Like they want to answer it, but like they sort of like look down and sort of try to be like they try to become invisible basically when you ask them that question.
All right, cool. It looks like they don't want to answer that right now. Can you let them know that we'd like to just kind of, I don't know, whatever the word is for it, just to feel them out a little bit before we actually bring them there? Maybe make sure that if we're doing them a favor, they're doing us a favor, kind of thing. Get them over to that lumber mill. Get some celestial, muscle. Moving some lumber around.
Make an insight check, Gravy. And anyone
We
else who
rubbed-
wants to check out what they're doing on the walk can make an insight check.
We rub their back, they rub our back.
Exactly.
Little bit of quid pro quo.
I mean, why can't we help them? You know, just because we're good people.
I feel like an honest day's work is a great way to build character.
All right.
Except that I'm not going to put to slave labor somebody we just rescued after they blew a hole in the ground.
So what about all your people loafing around back in town, huh?
My people. All right. So here's what you get from the assessments. Gravy, you think that they're fighters. Like these people are definitely like warriors. They've been at war. They've seen war. Nothing really like out of the ordinary there. Starfire and Squawk, they are measuring you guys. They are like you can tell that they're like, okay, Starfire has a staff. Coil has a mace, a shield. Like they're like specifically like counting what you have. Like they're assessing threat level. Like basically
They're
is what they're
assessing
doing.
threat level.
Yeah.
Does it seem that it's they're just trying to determine their safety amongst us, or does it seem like they are planning to jump us?
It's hard to tell at this point what they're doing. They're definitely like you can definitely like notice that they're counting. Like they're counting you. They're sizing you up against themselves. And both you and Squawk notice this.
Hmm.
I think message. I can do it pretty subtly.
Yeah, I think the actual word of it is like you can whisper, like you can send a message in a whisper that no one else can hear. I think is what it says. Give me one second.
Yeah, I think it's a telepathic whisper
Uh,
right here.
yeah. So
Within
It's a
range and whisper
whisper.
message.
yeah,
It's a whisper and a point.
I know the point.
yeah. It's a whisper. The target and only the target here. So they would like if you like trail back and point, like you could
Right.
do it, but like then they wouldn't be able to hear you no matter what.
Yeah, I'm just letting everyone else in the party know like these guys are sizing us up.
All right. So
Can I say something back?
I'll
Yes, you-
respond.
you can
yeah.
You can.
All right. I just want to say, yeah, I knew that the whole time. I'm surprised it took you so long to catch on.
I'll respond and I'll say, are they going to attack us?
I'm not sure. It's hard for me to tell. They definitely are sizing us up.
all right. So you reach.
I'm gonna move closer to them between them and the rest of the party.
So you reach sort of like just outside the wall. So like right here. Oh. You reach like right about here. Do you change course? Do anything with that information or?
I don't think so.
So wait, sorry, we're
Like here.
okay.
Unless you wanted to stop earlier. Feel free to let me know.
I'll stop. I'll stop here.
Yeah, just like sort of in the middle, like the
Yeah.
like distance between the like cut trees and
And
I'll say-
I'll turn to them.
Mhm.
And I'll say, well, I'll say to my group in common, I will speak with them. I wish to make sure there is no trouble.
Sounds good.
And then I say to the Celestials, I say, you have been sizing us up this entire time. Do you wish for a fight?
They look at each other, and the one with the like shield and the mace like sort of looks ashamed and is sort of like we don't know anything other than fighting. it's our way. We did not mean to offend.
That's so sad. So like you've never even worked in a lumber mill before? Or...
They just shrug because they don't understand common. You can roll insight if you'd like, Josh. You think they're being pretty honest? Like, they're definitely continuing to do it. Like as soon as they saw the wall, like they're sort of looking at it and sort of looking at you, and they're definitely like sort of darting around with their eyes and stuff. You don't think that they're gonna attack you, but you like what they're saying and how they're acting might have like some dissonance to it.
I say, we wish to take you into our settlement. However, there are civilians there. If you act this way in the settlement, you may spook some of them, frighten them.
Okay. How they sort of like look like they don't know if they can accomplish that task, and they like sort of look and they say like, we may not know how.
I'll turn to the rest of the party. I'll speak in common and I'll say, it would seem that all they've known is fighting, and they know no other way. This may frighten some of the villagers.
Do you want to go up ahead, talk to the mayor or somebody who's in charge and see if there's a spot that we can get them that's by themselves, or maybe front load and tell some of the other people so they can kind of prepare for strange behavior from new people? You want to try and keep them outside?
I'd be willing to go on ahead and let some folks know what's coming.
How far from the wall to Gathol is like what, half a day?
Yeah. Like maybe less.
So does that time frame kind of make sense?
Yeah. I mean, you'll make it back. Well, yeah, you would have had to have camped out like here-ish for the night, and then yeah, you're kind of coming back, and it's getting later in the day.
If we camped out, then I would have done.
Well, you would have camped out before you saw them, not after.
Oh, I see.
The next day, we're gonna get back by dark.
Yeah.
All right, Starfire, if you wish to go ahead and speak to those in charge within the city or within Gathol, that I guess that works.
Right. So who do you want to go chat with?
Who's the guy that's been giving us all these missions?
Keen, who's like the mayor.
The mayor. So he seems like the right person.
Right. Yeah, he's almost always just in the Great Hall. So you arrive at the Great Hall, and yeah.
Hey, Keen.
He sort of smiles at you and nods.
So everything's cool. We checked out that flying star, and it seems to be 3 celestials. They're pretty shaken up, and they seem to have some like PTSD stuff going on, and we want to think they're on the up and up, but we don't want to spook anyone. They're definitely hardened veterans. And I wanted to kind of give everyone here a warning that they're around, and that Cool. But if there's some place that we can give them accommodations, maybe away from others, but in a safe place, that would be great.
He nods and he says, "Well, some people have been moving out into the settlement outside of Gathol, so we have some empty space here. Yeah, you can bring them in. We'll take them in."
Yeah, I think that would be great. Thank you. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So you bring them in. It seems like they're like maybe making an effort to try and like not spook people, but you can definitely tell like one of them is like counting. Basically, he's like counting every person he sees or she sees. Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like they're still like, it's like what in Pocahontas when they're like making the notches, like not exactly like that, but you can tell that he's counting or she's counting, and then like sort of that stuff, like looking for weapons and things like that constantly. You wind them down into their place. There's like sort of a nice living place for them. It's not, it's like it looks like someone left a few things here, and that's what it is. When they moved out.
It's not like heaven, but it'll do.
I mean, you have no idea what heaven looks like, from what these people have said.
Can we help them like to train them to be like more civil and shit? Kind of like in Terminator 2 when that kid does that scene where he's like, and you gotta smile more and teach them catchphrases.
Yeah, teach them to say "I'll be back."
I'll be back.
Hasta la vista.
Yeah. I mean, over time, if you want to like invest
come
time into
if
these,
you want to live.
if you want to invest some time into these celestials, then yeah, you could definitely do that for sure.
Yeah, I will help Gravy. So I like the idea that the people instructing them in manners is a barbarian and a warforged
and a robot
that doesn't really understand like what it is to be human either.
Yep. Perfect. So we'll put that down on the docket for things you guys do on autopilot at the end of the session. All right. So you have brought them home. You have done all that stuff. If you guys want me to go over the sort of other plot hooks that you'd like that you can go investigate, we can do that, or you can look on the handout. Whatever you'd like to do.
I'd still like to finish clearing out the cave Gravy and I were working on.
Snakes.
But I know last week we had developments into the south.
Oh yeah, so let me let you know what happened here. So sort of rumors and news brought back from there. Two things, two big important things. The ritual happened 2 days ago at like during the timeline now. And what you guys heard of the ritual was that everyone in the town makes something. They like craft something and then they burn it in an offering to the silver flame. So it's like they're sacrificing their creativity in a way. And the other thing that happened was when they went back, they were also they encountered some ghouls underneath, like where you had cleared out, like in the underneath. There were now ghouls there with the cultists, like full on, like living, talking, well, unliving and talking and communicating like ghouls. And they now exist down there. There was a chat that happened. No one was really there for the chat. But it seems as though they wanted a sacrifice because you've made life hard for them, but it was declined. So, I mean, that is something that you all could go after. You can go talk to those ghouls again, or
is that what the last party did, or is this just rumors that of the world is spit out for?
Yeah,
us?
that's what the last party did. Yep, exactly.
Yeah. I'm for clearing out the cave.
Do you think there's more snakes there, or do you think maybe we got them all?
I think there's more, and the intent was to clear out the cave to open up more for housing and everything. And
yeah, the cave is like here.
Yeah. All right.
Actually, you know what? I can even just.
Well, I mean, we can do that if you want. I was just
You don't want to
asking.
get bit by snakes again? I'll
It's-
try not to blind you this time.
I mean, I'm not scared or anything. I was just asking if you thought there was more snakes in there.
I think there's more snakes, and I think there's big snakes, and I think there's lady snakes. And
Mm-hmm. Good. Because I want there to be snakes, so it's fine.
All right, we will cut from "I want there to be snakes" to you guys like frightenedly walking into this cave right after break.
Break.